team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Clockwork!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I speak for the trees.
Radiant team pick.
Queen of pain.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Never really confident.
Reserve time.
Dragon Knight.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
No.
Radiant team ban.
Oh.
Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Rubik.
Dire team pick.
Takiro.
Radiant team pick.
Bounty Hunter.
Dire team pick.
Legion Commander!
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Child Warlord.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ursa Warrior.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, folks, thank you all for joining us. Start this off with a quick pause while our Ursa get connected. Planet Dog 0-1. I think this is Mouse's first.
One has lost to 4.
Cinder and God down a game.
That's where he does his best. Those teams and most the fact that people but there are a lot of like dark horse candidates like Danish, but a lot of people are good pentas. So I haven't seen enough Crescendo. I don't think Crescendo has even seen enough Crescendo because they don't have that many matches. Unless they've been scrimming like crazy, I am not too confident.
Yeah, I remember like way back, you know, before Valve kind of cracked down on like the betting sites, you know, you'd basically see like the most popular teams would always get more bets. So like even when Na'Vi was well into their decline and before they had started making roster changes, this was like, I think when it was like Havos, Dendi, and Bonig. I forget who they kind of rotated a bit with the other two on that particular iteration, but it would be like a 90% Na'Vi. I'm like, against someone who had beaten them recently, I'm like, why are people betting for Na'Vi? But they basically just bet for their favorite team, you know?
Of course.
So, easy rares. Back when rares were actually worth it. Glory days of Dota.
Don't you have any?
Now Immortals are worth 10 cents, you know?
That's good for me. I play real cheap around here.
What does that mean?
That means I wait 1 year for everything to come off the market and
you actually...
it's a fire sale.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You're one of those people.
I am one of those people.
How do you have that patience? That is godly level patience.
It's years of experience with my parents. Like, we are not an instant gratification family. We would do competitive shopping. You go to a store and you never buy anything at for a sale. You will miss on the price match. That's what I've been.
You guys are. Well, by the way, they just did like a little huddle here on Planet Dog. They go for the delayed smoke play. Kind of interesting. Wonder if they're expecting some sort of Mal's incursion.
We'll see if they. I mean, this is a pretty strong level 1 from Planet Dog. They only need to dedicate 3 heroes for it. Doesn't even really matter who they find. They can kill anyone, even if find the Queen of Pain and you force her to skill blink. That's still a win.
They're gonna find Spartan. Surprise! They get the dual breath off, and now they try to get the Clockwork into position with the battery assault, but he does get tossed back. They're still gonna get on him here, and Spartan looks like he is cooked. Rubik down. Shitty Wizard gonna bite the dust.
Result looks like Bounty Hunter might. Well, I mean, Bounty Hunter was what this anyway. Strong invasion for Planet. But I mean, maybe that's why they lost game 1.
The battle begins.
Maybe next time he walks this room and Smizer gonna grab it. That's a triple bounty rune and a first blood. Dog are off to the races. They even pop this dust. They're gonna go and maybe next time. And they look to the dual breath here. They're gonna find it. He does have a Shadow Walk available. Don't know if they get this damage off in time before that dust expires. It's about to wear off. They will make it out.
Because even if Milan like he's not slow here. Now let's see how well teams remember about their. Whenever Bounty Hunter was first kind of like recurring in like patches, people are.
Which is crazy because we've seen like teams like VP will just constantly go for Courier Snipes, and it's not even Bounty Hunter, it's like Coddle going for a Courier Snipe. But and even Tramp Protector has been a little bit less popular in this particular version, but still pretty frequently banned or picked, and obviously Tree is a great early Courier taker.
Both Sentry Ward.
Tough times here for mid to drop it. Milan is doing all kinds of work early rotation nets him another kill. Even forces the Spartan TP. No experience yet to be claimed. He's going to tank a quick liquid fire to the face. Rubik not known for his early lane pressure prowess, and they get up against this tri-lane, he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that they've decided to make the lane dangerous versus Rubik. I mean, obviously you want the matchup Ursa versus Legion Commander, and you see 33 as having an equally difficult, is safe play. But Nature's Prophet is a hero that can pretty easily transition into the whereas Ursa, not so much. So I'm surprised that they want, I mean, they're putting so much focus into making that Skylark not. That's by the fact that you try lane.
Yeah, the good news for Mouse is this top and middle lane where Ursa has been winning most of the duels against 33. Did tank a bit too much tower damage, not currently. And in the mid lane, Queen of Pain just crushing Kaiser with the help of that Bounty Hunter early. But as I say that, Kaiser starts getting some last hits chained together and pulls back in, and this has kind of been the new Dragon Knight where he doesn't really lose many lane matchups. I've seen Dragon Knights get dual lane, even ganked repeatedly, and still come back. The Quelling Blade Stout build with the new Breathe Fire. Well, I say new, it's not really that new. The damage reduction has brought this hero right back. And then you get level 6, you just start the tower. Normally take your enemy tower first, even if you've had a bad lane, so it's coming back okay, but still Queen of Pain does have it. For now, Thug is 3 and 7.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Queen in general has a more of an edge as opposed to like a Templar set. She's so magic. While Dragon's Blood does provide a substantial amount of HP regen, it also, the power comes in the that is going to not really be too effective against
Yeah, it's just that Bounty Hunter off the map, you know, so it's not really a 1v1. It's like a 1.5 v1 or even 2v1 at time. This time actually shows up. For now, tracking Milan through the jungle. Is it dust, but with Rubik there in the neighborhood, can't really compete. What do you expect out of Nature's Prophet? Like, you mentioned him as a hero that does fall off quite a bit. You put a lot of farm in him, doesn't necessarily like carry the way, you know, an anti-mage might. Where do you see like them using this? It's going for ganks. Do they want to rotate him at some particular point?
Yeah, it's pretty dependent on a team's playstyle, like Alliance. Sprout. Alliance run a very battle-oriented Nature's Prophet. Sometimes they'll go for like early drums, early Solar Crest or Medallion. One side very well. This game, I think that Mousesports would be in their best interest as Skylark is getting.
Nature's Prophet having a hell of a time in the bottom lane, though. They don't quite want to commit on him. Milan hesitates, and now he's going to drop the cogs, but the counter Sprout, they all just get pushed in every which direction. I actually have no clue what just happened there. Like, he cogged at the same moment the Sprout got dropped, and so even though they were inside the cogs,
it was like, there's no space, everyone get out of here.
Decided there was no space inside the cogs, and so somehow he got pushed out anyway, I guess. That was very bizarre.
It was well played by Skylark, so whenever he was first getting gone in on, he immediately spawned trains. And Cogs doesn't have the most area as Madara top lane.
Battery Assault is ready, but in the cast animation, Madara gets out of range for the moment. No, track down the trees. Will be finished off. The Clockwork strikes again, but Thug is there. Looking to turn this around, he gets eyes on Milan. The Cogs come through. The deny, blink, scream, see ya. Thug will strike back.
But I mean, Clockwork's not his biggest skill. Solo versus much more. Madara decided to head on the bot lane. Maybe this was their plan all along. They were like, okay, once Ursa starts having mutations come in, Nature's Prophet's already managed to hit level 4, actually, so, you know, be able to be just fine against Legion. Yeah, same tough time. LC's actually level 5, almost level 6, so actually out-leveled Ursa after getting...
Yeah, and Ursa not doing so hot in the CS department, and he comes bottom, but it's into the Troll Blind, it's into the Dual Breath, and the Liquid Fire. Maybe a point in the Ice Path at some point, so it's not really a great lane for Ursa, to be honest. And that's not even factoring in the Clock, who is probably the most disruptive of the three.
Region. So you're gonna go for it?
Deny it. You can't. If I can't have it, you can't have it either.
Yeah, at one point DK apparently uses dragon form. Get any damage on the mid-tier 1 tower, so I'm surprised why he was.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had a teammate. I'm not sure. Actually hit the tower once. Not entirely sure. They're gonna spring the trap here. Does have a teleport control, but the courier's gonna get picked off. Get trapped inside the trees, and now they're gonna scream, lock him down. Thug likes the mana though, won't be able to go for that follow-up ultimate, and now Legion arrives. Looks for the duel, but actually doesn't have the mana either. Everybody needs a clarity potion in this middle lane. Spartan trying to just get him down with auto attacks, but denied by 33. Big plays by the Legion. Now turning it around, gets that passive proc, moment of courage, and that's the Legion a kill. Rubik down, DK denied.
Ursa died as well, so it's effectively a 3 for nothing across the map, seeing as that DK didn't really get killed. That was... At first I was like, okay, so he got sprouted. As it is, that's a pretty confident rotation for Nate Frost, because Queen of Pain did not have the mana for Sonic Wave, and like I said, Dragon's Blood, great against physical damage. Treants are physical damage. Sonic Wave, however, is not, and now bot
Making a move on the troll, but will they get that last Shadow Strike? Thug denied again! Oh dear. Double
Radiant's middle tower is under
God,
attack.
it's so bad as Thug right now.
And now maybe next time walks right into the cage. Milan's there with the dual follow-up. They're going to net themselves a win. 33 plus 10 for him, and now Thug being forced back. Clockwork continues to bully. You can see why they favor this Fox so much. 2, 2, and 3. Feels like it's been more than that with the amount of pressure he's put on every lane.
Yeah, he is basically out bounty huntering the bounty hunter right now, because he's showing up to all these lanes, not only getting damage, but getting kills on a consistent basis, and managing to out-level the bounty hunter as well, despite not really sitting in any lane. And an early level 6 on bounty hunter, very important. Same thing with Clockwork. You get this hookshot up and running, and counter initiation is probably the biggest thing, because Nature's Prophet, you see him going for these key rotations, and right now, Planet Dog don't really have that many items that they can follow up on a hookshot initiation, but a hookshot counter initiation spelled disaster for Malthus.
Mouse are not too confident to go for those types of plays, and forced into a pretty passive position here, waiting on the track to come online. NP hasn't had a great start. Ursa has not had a great start. It's only Queen of Pain who's really stepped up to the plate early.
Well,
sort of.
2 denies.
Oh, yeah. But at least, like, you know, having some success, just hasn't seen the rewards for it. But Thug has to be careful. Like, if he blinks in offensively to go for a play, suddenly gets dueled, he gets cogged up, and he's likely not making it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he's max like build after Scream. 1 point Shadow Strike.
There's the stun. Legion coming in. If he gets this duel, Thug's stunned for sure. Well, almost certainly. Yeah, Kaiser there with that last auto attack. A double win for 33 in about the same number of minutes.
This is pre-Blink Dagger. This is amazing timing. Sometimes Legion commanders will just sit around until they manage to complete that armlet, or that blade mail, or that Blink Dagger. 33 is finding, he's creating these openings. You don't often see a Queen of Pain, you're like, oh yeah, we can definitely kill her, but DK with that incredibly long stun, and they go into Dragon Form, start pushing down and finish one.
This is the thing, right? Like, it looks like Dragon Knight's having a bad mid lane. Suddenly he's even on CS just about. He's almost taken the tower down. And this is with the Bounty Hunter trying to pressure mid early without the Dragon Knight getting any help from his team. Clockwork was busy top, Clockwork was busy bottom. He was not really helping mid. Tower mid is now in deny range, and they're going to commit to this. And they get the last hit, but at the same time, Mouse forfeiting that early map control. With Milan coming in, what do you know? Here he is again. Clockwork is everywhere, making things happen. The call hold is nice by Thug. However, it's a third duel victory, plus 30, half his way to a free Sacred Relic. And now they look for the turn. Thug clicks in offensively, very aggressive maneuver by him. Ursa gets active, but doesn't find anyone to lock onto. During that enrage, now Thug's gonna run. Up to the high ground they go, trying to fight near the shrine. Mouse hold the line, at least for now. They're gonna lift the Legion, drag him back in. He's tanky, but not tanky enough. Mouse bringing superior numbers as they did not have swift ending. It's farming top, pushing that lane in. So Mouse using their mobility, +1 profit back to their advantage there.
Well, and the -2 planet dog factor is Clockwork had the TP back, or he had died, so he was in the fountain. Troll Warlord, like you said, was just farming. He contributed battle trance, but I mean, the dude's got a Vlad, so you really want him in those fights, so maybe Planet Dog sticking around a little bit.
Yeah, ideally you don't go for the Vlads and then not join the fights, but timing not working out there. So, Mouse, they have track now, they have Prophet ult. Well, they've had that for some time. Rubik's close to level 6. Well, I say close, he's at just now hit 5, but he's getting there.
Radiant's bottom
Same time, like, you just look at Planet Dog, it seems pretty clear they just kind of want to push. You know, they've got control with the Vlads, they've got Dual Breath, nearly maxed, or sorry, the Liquid Fire nearly maxed out now, and the Battle Trance ready to go, so every time Dragon Form's up, every time Battle Trance up, you gotta imagine they're just gonna go for a tower. Do Mousesports take those fights head on? Do they just split push, try to find pickoffs instead?
With a Roche, they can definitely start trying to achieve this, and it's gonna be it's not gonna name spell you know. The problem is that it doesn't really have very many items on this. Keep him alive, so it could be a farming agent, like you said, like they probably should start doing they're just going to need to find some Planet Dog heroes that isolate. 5 on 4, whenever they're all grouped up, there's nothing that
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, just a tier 2, so, well, definitely not a free Aegis by any means for Mouse. And I think it's something worth discussing, like how much can Ursa do this game. I feel like it's a tough hero matchup for him. He's got the duel to worry about. Legion's almost certainly going to get a Blade Mail at some point. So, yeah, Ursa hits pretty hard, but you're fighting into a Blade Mail and you're likely dying even if you do take the Legion with you. Got a lot of kite for him with the blind, with the cogs, the axes. There's plenty of tools to control him. I'm struggling to see how much Ursa can really do this game.
Yeah, he was picked to be a lane winner, but that may have been a little bit short-sighted because all those, I mean, he was the last pick. You had all the options available, and I mean, so many items before he can finally feel good stuff. So he's working on this Vlad's. After that, most likely a Blink Dagger, but I mean, that's a long way before you. So critical hookshot mid.
Milan searching, but not gonna find Skylark. As that mid tower goes down, Mouse, you managed to get the last hit as well. A little extra gold into their coffers.
Bountiful.
Of course, Mouse do have trash, so if they can just find trades, be happy with those for the most part.
That's what Dog are sticking together. Have to track kills slipping out of. Legion Commander has managed to complete a Blink Dagger. She is content with those initial 3 dual victories that she got. Not really searching for anything else. The right we're seeing is how she's created room for this Troll War. He's starting to build up this item.
I mean, this is like the point in the game where ideally Mouse are looking for the track kills. They've got the basic items up, they grab their first Aegis, the drums are out for the NP, the Vlad is out for the Ursa. But I also feel like Planet Dog's Lamp is just well suited to take these early fights, given the items they've gone for. They're all fairly like mid-game type of heroes. They are going to make their movements with any here. But Macro Pyre helps get him out of dodge. Dual Breath there as well. J4 might be the sacrifice. He's going to go back in with the Battle Trance. Locking onto Thug. He's going to need like 5 bashes in a row here and a whole lot of RNG. Can he take down maybe next time? Almost gets enough bashes out. Not quite. But it was kind of scarily close as 33 gauge just finds the Blink Duel onto Rubik, locking Spartan down and finish him off. But Dara wasn't able to swing those claws during that time. And he's going to come in, came prepared with the Climb Blade. Now the Sprout placed in front of him. He tries to eat his way into that Sprout, but wouldn't have been able to get out anyway.
That was actually a really good patience by Dara. I think most players that have just immediately started slicing up the Legion Commander, but he knew that if he gave any more theoretical moment of courage procs, you might have gotten a duel victory, and as a result, Rubik still dies in the end, but he was gonna die guaranteed. The question is, do you give Legion a duel victory or not? To get a loss, or not a loss, but Dara gets...
So, elsewhere for Planet Dog, we do see Kaiser grabbing the armlet. Not go for the early blink, which some players have favored, like Super comes to mind is for LGD as someone who really was favoring that fast blink rush. Launch the armlet first. He'll presumably go back for this blink relatively soon.
Yeah, in this situation, you've got the Clockwork for initiation, you've got Dagger. It's not too critical for DK to be that primary initiator, which is you set up with DK, and then he's so tanky that he just sits there. They smoke up, but they don't have very much of it. Basically, Bounty Hunter is joining them with the smoke. He needs to be going and trying to gather data for his team. It's just so difficult.
You know, they have the NP, like you figure in theory he should be able to provide a decent amount of vision with that and the Bounty Hunter, but in practice I'm looking at this Radiant map and well, there are 2 decent wards now. He's just gotten this hill ward down, but they're not actually seeing much of anything as far as the enemy team goes.
Yeah, these dog supports are very rich, and you will hate it as many supports are rich.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dump sentry wards non-discriminately. You'd be like, okay, pushing. Moving around the map. This is the choke point.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Railing away at the tier 1 top. Planet Dog will grab an objective, and these guys push fast. Mouse, not so much. No benefit of Fury swipes on towers. Your NP has not gone for that early Desolator pickup, so they will bring towers down, but they're going to be trading for 1 here, it looks like. Kaiser and Swift Engine quickly finishing off this tier 2. Not grab anything else in the back of that.
Sticking around inside of this Dark Jungle. Don't really have any vision. Hungry.
Wow, he is. Maybe next time it's not very far. Quick duel and quick win.
Radiant's top
They're going to lift the Dragon Knight, try to run away, but the Ice Path cuts off far enough. It's likely to be a 2-for-1 special. Rubik down as well. Legion getting out of hand here. And he is going to be rushing that Blade Mail. So, again, I'm not feeling like Ursa will be much of a hero this game. You know, Dragon Knight is closing in on the level 3 ult, at which point it's kited all the time. You've already got other tools to deal with him. Now the Blade Mail's coming.
Yeah, I really don't. Desolator, right? I mean, he's the real source of filth. Yeah, sometimes you get a Desolator to maybe pushes, but you've got Nature's Prophet to push. Ursa needs to just stay alive and be able to deal with it. It doesn't really matter. Drop armor.
Dragon Knight, Elite Farmer. 14, already 9k net worth. Mouser, I think most painfully, they're just not finding track. 0-4 Bounty Hunter. Some wards down. Pause here from.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see a bounty at this point, but due to struggling even first component of his Force Staff.
And they definitely need that Force Staff up against the Clockwork.
It's Ursa, like, yeah, I don't really know what I think
it's like
perfect situation.
Like you said, it was like they want someone who can match up against Legion or Troll, you know, at least in the lanes, but he didn't, you know? Yeah. He didn't even do that. And then even if he does, it's like, then what? What does he offer later on? There's so much kite, so much control. It's kind of a snowbally hero. It fits the Bounty Hunter, like, profit tempo of wanting to just constantly fight.
Completed Kaiser. Oh. Barely escaped. I mean, he would probably be fine. Dragon Tail, that's the problem. You completed this blink. What? It's just the story of this Ursa.
I would not want to be Ursa.
Oh, what a hook shot onto the Nature's Prophet in the top jungle. Skylark being out. He got spotted by a flare. See if he can get any follow-up. This Clockwork's kind of all alone.
Milan is been the hero so far this game, but battery salt wears off. Where's the help? The blink stun is there. Kaiser cleans it up. MP down again. Also a rough Nature's Prophet game.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Clockwork used to be like public enemy #1, and whenever we would see an NP pick in previous metas, like Clockwork, even if he wasn't popular, would kind of rise back in popularity as someone who can always find NP with the rockets, who can interrupt his teleport in multiple ways and lock him down. And then on top of that, you've got to worry about at some point maybe a ganking item for the troll, Shadow Blade of Blink Dagger, you've already got a DK blink, you've got a Legion blink. Everyone can hunt this Nature's Prophet, so I mean, we're talking about the Ursa problems. I feel like the NP has a lot of problems.
Yeah, and Bounty Hunter is usually, I guess, somewhat of a good mitigation tool for that, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna go up ahead of Prophet, and I'm gonna find concerned about anything. At no point in this Bounty Hunter, I'm pretty sure this Bounty Hunter spent more time on his half of the map. No, life is bad when that's...
Seen few tracks, and the ones that we have seen are usually right before he dies. It's looking rough here for Mouse.
They may be able to do something with the second Aegis at this point. Now Ursa can blink in, kind of somewhat it's not ideal, but that's kind of your only option. And give the cheese to him as well, maybe give it to Queen of Pain, and start ideally getting some team fights going. But
when did they add the evade? That they just added?
It's pretty recent, yeah. It's because they used to say miss, and now it shows you evading instead, or it shows both.
Okay, so they're just trying to clarify one was an evade and one was not.
I think it's because they added that solar crest thing, so they wanted to make it more clear.
That is super prominent. I feel like I'm watching. You know, have you ever seen those like the commercials in like GSL, or like I guess it's like popular in like Korean or Japanese TV, where like the text is all lively and like instead of just like, you know, bam, it'll like be like giant and yellow or whatever. Right. You know, obviously, it kind of reminds me a little bit of an anime in that.
Well, you gotta know, this Ursa's gonna be seeing a lot of evades on his face, because he's not going for that.
Those ancients can handle the troll. You think this Ursa has a chance? They're going for... I want to say they were thinking about it. Duck was there, they dropped the NP ult even, and meanwhile, trying to pressure bottom and distract while they go for this Roche, but instead they will grab the tower. Mouse, is this happening again to Planet Dog? They're getting ratted. They're dominating the lanes, they're having the better early game by House. They seem to have the better late game on paper, but they're struggling to deal with the split push. They do find a kill near the Roche pit though, they'll take that maybe next time. And I mentioned this too, kills for the suspension. Play down the camera work. Sending, dealing with Madara, Kaiser's running the trade. They cage the bear. They will clip his nails, take him down. They lose Skylark too. Now 3-3 there with the blink, the duel, blocking Skylark in position, and they will get the duel win. 54 plus damage, nearly a full Sacred Relic completed. Alright, we got about half the kills in that fight. We're coming back.
That's a costly tier 3, but it's still a tier 3 nonetheless. You're not going to get the Roche. In fact, you're going to give it up to Planet Dog. But I can't believe they managed to do that much damage to that structure in such a short amount of time. Especially without even all 5 heroes. Ursa was trying to take Roche, the Rubik was also trying to help him out, so it is shades of match number 1 they had against for sure.
I think this lineup's a little better at dealing with that, right? With the double blinks and the clockwork, like, you should be able to punish split push more effectively. There's also not an IO in the game. Bail out your main carry, but that said, so far, yeah, definitely a little aftertaste in your mouth. That's for damn.
And that pressure's just Prophet has opted to go for an Orchid, so after completing that drum, most likely Scarlet was hoping to find some rotation. So, birded back to Orchid, which I don't really know the item by itself, how good it'll be. A Bloodthorn will be nice, especially when combined with the Earth, but an Orchid by itself, like, DK doesn't really make sense, and he soon, eventually, Legion Commander doesn't silence. I don't really what an Orchid.
Gold and sweet.
Plus you have as well.
Then run!
It fits the idea of their draft, right? Like, the idea of their draft is to find those track kills and pickoffs, but it doesn't seem to fit the way the game's unfolded, where they're mostly just not really fighting. They're certainly not. There's not a whole lot of attractive targets to go on. Kaiser is ultra tanky on the DK. Clockwork has a force staff to get out of Sprouts and just run away from you even if you silence him. The Legion is quite tanky and also has her own mobility with Blink. Troll's a beast with an Aegis and a Manta. Like, at this point, I think if Skylark could go back and build a different item, he certainly wouldn't want the Orchid, but unfortunately, since he is stuck with it, maybe we'll upgrade at some point. You can see the real concern is dealing with this Clockwork now, though. They've got already the 1-4 staff under construction for Bounty Hunters. Still not done yet, though, and even NP wants to get in on the action. He'll be...
Right next. But hell, even Jakiro's going to start TPing out.
And no way to cancel TPs. See you later.
Middle tower is under
That's
attack.
got to be painful.
And now Jakiro's included. So there's no solo kill.
Crack open a Dust here. Maybe next time Jukes out. He's an elusive bugger. On that Bounty Hunter. We'll dodge the gank. Then he just
Radiant's middle
bulldoze
tower
this tower
is
mid,
under
it looks
attack.
like.
He's farming very aggressively. And he's not opting for a immediate for Scotty instead. Maybe next time spots him though, and it's pretty deep here, but... So,
Just
he has
what
an
I've
Aegis.
been waiting
He has
for.
an Aegis if you're not a team. It's,
I like this itemization, not going for the BKB. Like, there's really not all that much that a BKB would offer. Like, their best control is basically Sprout, you know, so...
that's true.
I think, given that, there's not really even that much magic damage. It's really just, like, the only way, to me, you're gonna die is Ursa Pity, like, 20 times, and with the Scotty and the Blind, probably not gonna be very effective in doing so. I think I've been fairly impressed by Swift Ending's itemization both games. Like, last game I thought BKB was essential, he got it. It didn't work out, but it wasn't the item's fault. Now they're going high ground, and this time the rat is nowhere in sight. Quickly, Planet Dog surging onto the base, laying into these structures, and no sign of a defense yet.
I didn't know that still worked. Nature's Prophet sprouts his own so that...
No vision. But now they're hitting it again.
True.
Mini Frost Dragon.
Bot time. Skylark and Queen of Pain are in the bot lane. TV route on Queen of Pain.
Trying to get through this lane of Rax here. Flip, I believe, is still on cooldown, but they are going to find an opening. Dire melee goes down. Radiant range and melee have fallen, but now they're going straight for the second lane of Rax. They say, you want to rat us? That's okay. We're just going to take all your building in quick, swift succession. Now onto the second melee. Forcing Mouse back. The Sprout shenanigans continue in earnest. Kaiser now wearing off the Frost Dragon is going to end. He gets pushed back. Aiden has been cracked. They do have the track here. If they can find those openings for kills, it would be huge. Instead, maybe next time down for the count. Thug jumps in. Thug could be in trouble. Just one stun, and he's likely done for. He will blink away. He's got the DD rune. No ultimate ready. The Dragon form is almost up, and they're going back for that second Rax. The Sprout is winning the day, at least for now. Swift, you know, the late. He gets in for the thick of it. Skylark popping the try and holding the line, but still they've lost the melee, and now Kaiser tanking through it all. They just can't seem to take this Dragon Man down. He's far too tanky. He gets another stun on the Rubik, pushing his way even deeper. He's going to armlet toggle on the way out, I imagine, but Dara tries to finish him off. Will he get the damage? He manages to take down one. He chews through a second. They're getting the kills. They're getting the track hold too. 33 TP now. The Stoke screen with the split second lane. Swift Denny will TP home. So when the dust settles, they've gotten 2 full lanes of Rax, but they've given up 1. Planet Dog, certainly a better outcome than last game, but not entirely out of the woods yet either.
Yeah, they could have gone out a lot more. DK was feeling himself for sure. He was playing almost as if he had an Aegis or Cheese, because he was...
Dire's middle tower is
God!
under attack.
Not gonna happen.
That's definitely not the case.
Gave Ursa barely... I mean, it's not dramatic, but it's something to get him back into the game. And
It's like half of his BKB off
exactly.
those 2 kills.
Yeah. Oh, Rax off of that.
So good news here for Mouse. They, having taken down that tier 3, can take down Shrine as well. So establishing a little bit of map control here. Swift Ending, though, he continues his farm progression. He's about to grab a Scotty. Meanwhile, Kaiser is about to grab an Assault Cuirass, so massive physical damage mitigation. That said, I really feel like Ursa did all that much that last fight. I was kind of talking up how I thought they would ride on the physical damage, but it was like the Shrine usage, Queen of Pain just getting off like at least 6 or 7 screams, and the Quap ult, the NP ult I think came out twice. There was a couple of bouncing shurikens, so
yeah, I think Dog are
it maybe was more, but the magic damage in the end.
They're itemizing really heavily. They want to make this Ursa's life hell. There's 2 halberds on the side of Dog, and there's all these, like you said, all this physical damage mitigation. They have all these kite tools. Like it's just an Ursa. It's the only real right-click carry there is.
And honestly, like at this point, with just one of the either the DK or the Legion can deal with him. You know, you halberd him, you duel him, you know, just keep on right-clicking him as Dragon Knight. Ursa is not doing anything while the Frost Dragon is hitting him, especially any of those stuns following up, so I agree. I think the bear has been controlled. It's not the one to focus on any longer.
Queen of Pain is still also somewhat far behind, and she is going for a right-click build, and so maybe that's part of the reaction. Picked up a Hyperstone after finishing up the Lincoln's and Shiva's guard, so definitely not anything like this.
I definitely like that choice. If anyone's going to carry, it's going to be the Queen.
Yeah, but I mean, she's carrying into a bunch of physical damage mitigation, so...
Right, it's tough. Probably goes Mjolnir, I imagine. More magic damage. We'll see. They are sieging though, that defensive Sprout, proving to be quite a bit of a nuisance. The Swift ending gets pulled back in. He wants to fight. Madara has committed to BKB. The Sprout is there on Kaiser, but Kaiser just turns, tries to stand his ground. A beautiful Queen of Pain ult, hitting all 4 against Thug, trying to throw his team on his back, but the duel comes through. Madara's been locked down, controlled for now. Thug blinking away, stays alive. Maybe next time keeps those tracks flowing, and the clockwork out a bit too far. He's a more killable target. Kaiser tracks again. The blink in from Sauce Spartan. The high ground defense is there from Mouz, at least for now, but you overstep by just an inch and down you go. Buyback instantly from the bounty, but out for 45. They won't have the Ursa, although he doesn't do damage. He is the damage sponge for this team, and with him down, might be Megas on the horizon. Planet Dog flows in here on a potential Mega creep scenario. They certainly would like that a lot better than the way game 1 went. Finally, Swift ending, chop indeed. Takes the melee down, turning back for heroes. The Ice Pass there, it hits on 3. Nice plays by Sauce Spartan, turning this game around. It's not over yet. Now they've got to get the hell away, but maybe next time, chasing in with Thug at his side. bo1 will fall, it's 4 down, it's only the Dragon Man left standing. With the armlet, he won't make it out. A full 5-man wipe in the base. They did not get Megas, and they just gave up a metric ton of gold.
That is a massive amount of track kills. Now all those laning phase misses were just piled up into one 30-second massive fight. And again, it seems like the recurring theme is that Planet Dog don't really know when to leave. Like, their play is if they have like a Dazzle or a Necro or an Ami or some hero that can provide healing sustain. Yeah, sure, they have the press the attack, but that's one spell. It's not nearly enough to...
Hey, they have a Vlads, okay, Tsunami, so take it easy.
That's true. The lifesteal, I can never sleep on that. It's nearly as good as Shadow Wave.
No, but you're definitely right. The sustain's a bit limited, and Mouz are just so annoying on the high ground. Like the sprouting of the racks, Sauce Spartan getting these 3-4 hero ice pads, constantly lifting heroes out of position. The bouncing shuriken has proven a nuisance. I mean, should they have built more sustain? They don't even have an urn this game. There's no mech. Do you think they underestimated how difficult it would be to push into the base?
They're underestimating how big of a... they're overestimating how big of a factor Ursa is, because the whole thing is that Ursa was dead the entire fight. Of course we can stay here.
Comes Milan, but Spartan is there. Ooh, that was big. Still, the hook comes through, it connects on 3. He didn't get off the cogs, though, and now they look to turn. Dragon flicking in, blocking anybody down. He'd love to just get that Dragon Self and find a kill. Maybe next time. Doesn't die, though. The last auto tech is in there, but the physical damage mounts. Another duel victory. Thug's on the run. Buyback from the NP. The Ice Path connecting again. If they can get the follow-up stun from the Dragon Knight, it would be enough for the kill. Thug blinks out to the high ground. They will chase forward, though. Oh, Thug walks back in almost. That was dangerous. They get the track. They want J4. Dog with Spartan by his side will stay alive for now. The ice path comes through. A very disorganized fight here from Dog. Either all go take the Roche or all go fight, but they want to have their cake and they want to eat it too, and this might end up costing them. They do have a duel ready fairly soon. All 3 cores alive, but they sacrifice their supports on the altar of greed.
At what point did they learn the lesson? They're like, okay, we have won in the first half of the fight. We don't need to fully team.
Maybe next time. That's splash damage. Almost hit him off. He wants this Roche. The Aegis has swift endings. The cheese is his. Delicious.
Give that a gift to Queen of Pain, but a lot more than 1 cheese to save this last remaining Drax before. It was, again, like Planet Dog are definitely playing with what their lead was. I mean, they're down a bit now, but a substantial amount of damage to be done, to say the least.
Alright, Mouse making a big offensive push outside their base. Remember, they've got only a single range Drax. That is unhealable damage done here, Neil. Over 600 points of it. Milan is there down in the river, but they get the lift quickly. Now Milan trying to force that away. He drops the cogs. Perfect positioning, except Quap, who can jump right in. Says, screw it, man. I'm going for it. Madar pops the BKB. Now wants to run. They're using this track effectively. Swift Denny gets kited. They've got to deal with Thug. Someone needs to focus him down. Swift Denny wants to do it. The team's not cooperating. Kaiser is focusing on Madara. Wants to bring down the Ursa. Finally, they'll slay the beast, but all the while the Shuriken bounces here and there, and back to Kaiser. Shot coming through by Milan as he tries to re-engage, and Kaiser with the splash damage. Oh, mama, he cleans them up. 3 down, just brute force. And satisfyingly for Planet Dog, it is enough.
3 buyback Bud wants to go for the all or nothing play.
And it's looking like nothing right now. Not a great scenario for him. He does still have the Linkage, though. I think he just push.
I mean, he's
forget about that
making
Quap.
Space. Making lots of space. So irritating.
This Quap is extremely annoying, but that's all she is a nuisance. Not ratting it out. Onto the Megas they go. Onto the throne they go. Planet Dog. They just can't seem to win cleanly, Neil. Every game so far, really sloppy, really back and forth. Kind of a yeah, welcome to EU Dota. When does the NA Dota start?
Yeah, no, that's where the real
Those are organized,
play,
polished, 10K MMR Dota.
That's right, that's right.
Please, I can't watch this anymore. It's killing me. But Planet Dog, though, very impressive showing here in all seriousness. Milan will go down. They're going to look for the throne. Straight onto it they go. They get the stun. They get the kill. The struggles continue here for Mousesports. They call the GG. They will tap out. You know, the lineup that finished top 4 at Boston, and the fans had big ambitions for them, but looking shaky here in their debut in the Regionals Group stage, which backs up a very shaky showing in a lot of qualifiers prior to this. Ooh, you got to wonder if this the end for them.
I mean, at a certain point, you can't keep citing using that